It's okay that you're not okay. Meeting grief and loss in a culture that doesn't understand kids and grief. It might also be true for you that it's not just yourself you need to think about. No matter what their ages, your children will be affected by grief, whether it's their loss directly or they're living with the effects of grief on you. My stepson turned 18 the day after his father died. Not super young, but in many ways still a child. The outside world saw him as an adult that day. He was called to make decisions no child should have to make. He'd always been rather quiet about his own internal feelings, and living through his grief was no exception. In the weeks and months that followed, we talked around what had happened. We talked about the inner world of grief and how different people process it differently. His tendency to be more private, plus his natural teenagerness, meant he didn't say very much about his dad. He said even less about himself. Given that my stepson was older and struck out on his own soon after Matt died, I didn't have the same worries that many of you have as you parent your children through loss. I didn't have the heartbreak of seeing a very young child grow up with few to no physical memories. I didn't worry about how other kids would treat my stepson at school or how teachers would handle his loss. I worry about his life unfolding without his father's guidance, but I know he had 18 years of soaking in his dad's presence and influence. I can only hope his father's love infuses him, holds him up, helps him, even now. Someone asked me the other day if I thought my stepson had processed his dad's death or if it continues to affect him. How can it not continue to affect him? His dad is still dead. I think we're always looking for evidence that our kids are okay. So much of any emotional process is on the inside. A loss like this will grow and change inside our kids' hearts, changing not just with the passage of time, but also with their changing capacity to absorb and respond to their parents' or siblings' death. I think all any of us can do, is continue to be about pain, death, grief, and love in age-appropriate ways. We can let our kids know that they can ask us anything. We can let them see our own grief in a way that says, this hurts and it's okay to feel it. We can ask knowing that they may not be willing or able to voice what they feel. Sometimes it takes a lifetime to be able to say what you've lost, to see the many ways a family member's death shaped and changed you. I hope for my kid and for years that our love stays beside them, that the love of the one they've lost stays with them, that they learn to tolerate their own pain, open their hearts, and listen for their own voice, even if they never tell us a word. Note, given that I did not have young children at home, I'm not an expert in the effect of loss on kids. The best place I know for resources on how to help grieving kids, in fact, whole grieving families, is the Dougy Center in Oregon. Though their headquarters are in Portland, they are an international agency, and they can point in the right direction as you navigate loss inside your family. Yeah, I don't know how many times on days that I was a complete mess, that, it's like, I didn't let the dogs outside. I put down pee pads, or sometimes I didn't. And I didn't get all the fur babies fed. Some days I didn't. And I thought, what a horrible animal mom I was. And I'm like, I can't imagine having more than fur babies to take care of. I can't imagine. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. I tried to talk to RJ's kiddo. They were 19. And they knew I was here. And they've called a couple of times, but they don't have a vehicle, so it's very hard I did go get them once and take them to dinner and then bring them here and give them some of their dad's things. But, yeah, I can't even imagine it. No. Anyway, my hat is on today. Off to any moms or dads out there that have children that you have to take care of through the hardest frickin' thing in the world. So, anyway, yeah. I haven't done this in a couple of days. I've been sick. I don't like being sick. Never liked being sick, but I really don't like being sick by myself. I get really full of sadness that I don't have somebody here making me chicken soup and asking me how I'm doing. But I am alive and I am just fine. And I got errands to run today, so I'm going to go do that. And please reach out if you need someone. I'm here to hear.